China's upcoming lunar mission has attracted global attention for more than one reason. The Chang'e 6 robotic probe will not only make an ambitious and unprecedented attempt to collect samples from the far side of the moon, it will also transport 3 European scientific payloads to the site. The mission is of great importance because the new samples will allow scientists to study and better understand the history and physics of the moon. According to the China National Space Administration, the 3 foreign scientific payloads include a radon measuring instrument from France's National Space Agency that will help study the movement of lunar dust and some volatile chemicals among the lunar regolith, a layer of unconsolidated rocky material, and the lunar exosphere. The second foreign scientific payload is a passive laser retroreflector from Italy's National Institute of Nuclear Physics that will be used as a laser rangefinder for the Chang'e 6 lander. The third payload, developed by the Swedish Institute of Space Physics with support from the European Space Agency, will be the first dedicated negative ion instrument to fly beyond Earth. It will seek to detect negative ions emitted by the lunar surface as a result of interaction with the solar wind. More than 20 proposals from foreign space agencies and research organizations vied for the golden opportunity to join the Chang'e 6 mission and land on the little-known far side of the moon, which until now has been the subject of scientific speculation and wild imagination. The 3 from France, Italy, and Sweden emerged winners. Yang Yu-Guang, Senior Space Industry Observer and Vice Chairman of the Space Transportation Committee of the International Astronautical Federation, said opening up one nation's spacecraft to other nations' scientific payloads has become a common practice among space powers because international cooperation can maximize the scientific value of a mission. An opportunity to place your scientific devices on a spacecraft, especially a historic one like Chang'e 6, is always enthusiastically sought after by scientists around the world, he said. China and Europe are involved in cooperation in the industry space for many years, and these collaborative projects have brought benefits to both sides, Yang said, citing successful cooperation in data transmission during China's Tianwen-1 Mars mission. Wang Hainan, editor-in-chief of Aerospace Knowledge magazine, said the Chang'e 6 mission will offer European scientists the first opportunity to deploy their instruments to the far side of the moon, which will be a landmark moment for the planetary research community in Europe. Through this measure, China has demonstrated its sincerity and ability to enhance international space cooperation, and will also definitely advance collaboration in lunar exploration and development between China and Europe, Wang said. March 5th, carrying the Chang'e 6 robotic probe, is scheduled to lift off from the Wenchang Space Launch Center on the east coast of Hainan province in the coming weeks. If all goes according to plan, the spacecraft will perform a series of flight maneuvers and finally land in the South Pole Aitken Basin. Like Chang'e 5, its predecessor, the Chang'e 6 spacecraft is a product of the Academy Chinese Space Technology Company in Beijing and also consists of 4 components: an orbiter, a lander, an ascender, and a re-entry module. After collecting dust and rocks on the moon, the ascender will transport the samples to lunar orbit for transfer to the re-entry module, which will take them to Earth. However, the lander's scientific instruments will continue to perform their operations as long as they have sufficient power. The United States, the former Soviet Union, and China have brought lunar samples to Earth, but none of them ever obtained soil on the far side of the moon. Although the far side had already been imaged by a spacecraft, no probe had ever landed it until the Chinese Chang'e 4 mission, which landed in the South Pole Aitken Basin in January 2019. How will Chang'e 6 impact future lunar missions? In addition to providing valuable data, the mission serves as a rehearsal for future manned missions. The insights gained through this project will contribute to the preparedness and safety of the astronauts China plans to send to the Moon. This is a gradual but gigantic step towards establishing a permanent lunar research station by 2040. This advance comes at a time of renewed fervor in the global space race, with countries such as the United States, Russia, India, and Japan expanding their lunar programs. The recent North American mission, which landed near the South Pole, highlights the urgency and strategic interest in accessing and using lunar resources. This was today's content, so if you liked it, like it and subscribe to the channel. Until next time.